9 after 11 news and views. I beg your pardon, not news and views, but the mid morning talk with me, Julie Ali. And I know that every time I come onto the show to do mid morning, I trip up because I forget that I've taken a break from news and views. And I must add, really, it's been a wonderful break. I needed it. I like the the mid morning allows you to be a bit laid back, and I'm enjoying that very much. But at the same time, can't wait to go back to the hard hitting current affairs issues that I cover normally right here on Salam Media. Our first guest is Riyaaz Khan. Assalamu alaikum to you. Welcome to the program.
Walaikum salam. Thank you for having me.
Lovely to have you here. And I see that you have an honors degree in sport science, and you are the corporate trainer at Tibb, and absolutely the right guy to be talking to in the month of Ramadan. And of course, when I did the introduction, I indicated that the first few days of Ramadan is a bit, I guess, taxing. Our routines have changed completely. Some people find that they don't have the energy. Some people find that they're very hungry all the time, or very thirsty, very irritable, headachy, etc., etc., etc. You know the drill. Um,
100%, yeah.
and and this is where you guys come in. Tib, and you are all about natural supplements and I guess vitamins, minerals, etc. But before we get there, let's talk a little bit about you. You have a degree in sports science and honors in sports science, and you are the corporate trainer at Tip Health Sciences.
Yeah.
Um, Interesting, very interesting. Started out, doing an honors in sports science. What else will your degree allow you? Which other fields will your degree allow you to veer into?
So when I was studying, there were three major fields that you could actually go into. One being the orthopedic part of it, which is your biokinetics. Then you have the more exercise performance part, which is your exercise science and exercise physiology, strength and conditioning. And then there was another science that's actually not really considered a science, but it's actually also very important. It was called recreation science, where if you're not dealing with injured people, that's your orthopedics. You're not dealing with high performance athletes, or exercise science. You're dealing with the general population in terms of how to make an impact on their lives via recreation. So recreation is obviously anything that you do in your spare time, and how to make it the most impactful for your mind, for your body. And yeah, that's pretty much what your recreation science takes care of. Um, so obviously I dabbled a little bit in all of them, and I found myself coming back to Tibb, in the sense that the background that I studied gave me a lot more information and insight into how the body works and everything. And then it kind of led me towards the natural medicine. I think natural medicine is very, very underrated, as well as not popular enough. But over the past few years, we've seen a huge increase and rise in people's appetite for natural medicine, and which is great for us.
So let me ask you the all important question. I often get confused with this terminology, and I have no doubt in my mind other people would too. When you talk natural medicine versus alternative medicine, is it one and the same thing? Or are we talking of two totally different modules or different, modalities regarding healing?
So it's actually it's a funny thing, because you have your traditional medicine, which is all your medicine that it's found in your dispensaries and your over-the-counter stuff. That's kind of regarded as traditional medicine, and then the natural medicine is regarded as alternate. So that's where all your fields like homeopathy, naturopathy, all of those play. Where the actual truth is, I think we are actually the more traditional medicine, because everything we use is from the ground and from nature, and your allopathic medication is derived, or most of them are derived from natural resources. So yeah, so it's the natural medicine and alternative medicine is generally about one and the same in terms of speaking about it, and your traditional medicine is your allopathic medication that you would get at dispensary level.
Okay, so obviously the month of Ramadan, we're halfway through Ramadan, but never
Mm.
too late, because I think there are still people who still, battle with energy levels, things that I mentioned just now in the introduction, headaches, lethargy, irritability, and all of those type of issues. We eat very well in the month of Ramadan. uh, is there still is there still a place for natural supplements during the month of Ramadan?
So earlier on in your intro, you alluded to the excitement around Ramadan. I mean, we love Ramadan. It's probably our favorite month of the year. And generally, that excitement is what gets us through the first 10 days or so of the month. And then when you reach this point where we are currently, that's when you'll start to see people having that energy drain and the inability to cope, maybe mental fog, struggling towards the end of the afternoons and everything. And depending where you are in the world, some hours are much longer than what we're experiencing at the moment, although it's getting there to those longer hours, and it'll tend to become a little bit more difficult. So supplementing is very, very important. However, we need to supplement not for the sake of supplementing, but with the actual goal in mind. So if it's energy that we're actually looking for, then we need to see what it is that we're actually eating and making sure that we get the most amount of nutrients and everything that we need from our food. And then whatever discrepancies and whatever is left out, that we should be getting from our supplements.
So, Riaz, would you agree that a lot of people that are suggesting that because of the poor quality of our farming soil, our naturally grown food is not as nutritious as it ought to be? There's also the issue around chemicals that are being used on plants, etc. And that too would impact on us because we're ingesting it. So clearly, that indicates that supplements are very, very important in this day and age. I think our environments are very polluted as well. I mean, currently here in South Africa, particularly in Johannesburg, there's the issue around water scarcity and polluted water, very especially in KZN as well. So these are all of the factors that we're being faced with. So more than ever, I'm beginning to think that we're going to have to be more and more reliant on supplementing our diets.
Yeah, you're 100% correct there. I mean, if you look at the nutritional value of food now versus 10 years ago, let's take everybody's favorite suhoor breakfast or part of your breakfast, your banana. If you take a banana now versus what it was 10 years ago, if you look at the nutritional content, you'll find that, yes, although it's pretty much the same, there's a lot of nutrients that have actually been lost or decreased. And you find this going across our entire food spectrum, whether it's fruits, vegetables, meat, fish, whatever it is. You find that there's a lot more pollutants now, and a lot of more chemicals being attached to all our foods. And the thing is, like you say, when you ingest those chemicals as well. And then over time, you have a buildup of those chemicals, and then they tend to affect your health. So for example, one of your main organ that does all your filtration is your liver. When we have too many chemical based things, so whether it's cool drinks, whether it's food, canned foods, and all of that, you find that the liver does actually go under strain, and then it isn't able to do its job properly. And then if the liver is not doing its job properly, then for its major other functions, for example, breaking down of medication, important medication that all get metabolized in the liver, that doesn't work so well. And so you extend that into your medication that you're taking, and you're actually getting less of your medication because of a dysfunctional liver. So I know I'm speaking about the liver here in specific, but this is one of the major issues that I think after we know hypertension is a silent killer, and then after that, yeah, your liver function is something that we really need to pay close attention to, because the liver is probably your second most important organ, in my opinion. Wait, let me ask you: if you had to rate your top three organs in your body, what would you say they are?
Well, quite honestly, as you were speaking, I just realized the important function of the liver. And it's not much spoken about in this day and age. I think what we tend to really focus on is the heart. And we forget about, the other organs. And my response to you would be all of the organs in the body. I wouldn't put anyone above any other organ. I think they all work together uh, uh, in tandem. They have to get a very healthy mind, body, and soul. And if any one of those organs, be it your heart, your brain, your liver, your kidneys, if any one of those are diseased, you're going to be sick. You're going to be a very unhappy and a sick human being. But let's go for our first ad break. When we come back, I'm going to ask you to tell us about the amazing Tibb supplements that we should have started at the beginning of Ramadan, but of course it's not too late yet. And what do we do now at this midway point? We can, of course, pick up on the liver issue as well. But that's the important questions that we need answered this morning. So please stay with us.
Salam Media, your spiritual companion this Ramadan.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness, and every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and free zakat calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
Freedom Stationery supply Marlin and Marlin Kids pens to me and my school friends. They supply just about everything we need to help us get a better education, from books to files to rulers. In fact, any any accessory we need. Freedom Stationery. Education for the nation. What does accessory mean?
Abu Huraira narrated that he heard the Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, say, "In black seed there is a healing for every disease except death." This Ramadan, experience the health benefits of this ancient blessed seed by using the Tibb Black Seed range. Black seed assists the body to boost immunity, regulate blood sugar levels, reduce inflammation, and act as a potent antioxidant. Experience a holistic approach to health by introducing the Tibb Black Seed range into your Ramadan routine. Available in capsules, pure cold-pressed oil, and a vapor rub. Trust Tibb Health Sciences for quality black seed products. For more information, visit blackseed.co.za. Available at leading pharmacies.
Salam Media, your spiritual companion this Ramadan.
This is Salam Media, and you are listening to Julie Ali.
Welcome back. We are talking with Riyaaz Khan. He is at Tibb, and we are talking about how we can benefit our lives, our lifestyles by incorporating Tibb supplements into our lives. Riyaaz is the corporate trainer at Tibb. He holds an honours degree in sports science, and of course, the right person to be talking about these issues. Back to you, Riyaaz. And before we start talking about how we should have started Ramadan, or how, at this halfway mark, what are the supplements we ought to be taking. And just as a matter of interest, I was going to ask you about the black seed. We'll get to that in a minute or two. But let me throw back the question you threw at me. What do you believe is the most important organ in the body?
So after you so eloquently answered, I don't think I can give you an answer right now. No, so obviously you have the brain, right? And then generally
Mm,
after the brain, everybody would assume the heart. And the heart is obviously very important in pumping out blood and sending and keeping you alive.
mm,
However, what is the quality of that life if your liver isn't working properly? We know the liver
mm.
has over 400 different functions.
Sure.
More often than not, we just assume the liver is taking care of metabolism and digestion and all of that type of stuff. But the liver is key in terms of making sure that you are in a healthier space. I'll give you an example. If your listeners struggle with waking up early in the morning at between 2 and 4 in the morning and not for Fajr, um, generally that's a sign of issues with your liver.
Suggesting what? And that then obviously goes directly to your diet, which means that you need to relook at your diet to then have a liver functioning optimally so that you don't wake up between 2 and 4. Uh,
Hmm.
what would the supplement be? And what is
So, I
that
mean,
indicating? When you're saying you've got a problem with the liver, what exactly is happening, and what supplement from the Tibb range would then address that particular issue, and for how long do you need to be on that specific supplement?
so one of the issues is when your liver is dysfunctional, right? So if you find yourself waking up in those early parts of the morning, that's generally when the liver is most active and recovering. So the liver is an amazing organ in the sense that it is the only internal organ that can actually regenerate. So every day, think of your liver as your punching bag. We eat, we drink, we take medication. The liver is breaking down all of that. And then when we go to rest at night or when we go to bed, it's your liver that's actually regenerating and recovering from everything that we've put it through. So that when you wake up in the next morning, you get to punch it again. So obviously, if the liver's recovery is strained, and that's generally when you tend to affects your sleep and everything in the mornings. Um, in terms of dysfunctional livers, the product that we would actually use at Tibb is called Livotib. This is something that helps to improve liver function. It helps with the body's natural filtration system, which is your liver. It helps to enhance that. It helps to protect the liver from further damage, as well as reduce any current damage within the liver.
So, regarding these supplements, we're talking about the liver. I also want to talk about people who have problems sleeping. I often hear people saying, "Oh, I haven't slept all night. I'm exhausted. I was tossing and turning all night." So, we'll come to that in a minute. But regarding any supplement from Tibb, is it okay for me just to go into a pharmacy and buy it off the shelf? Or is there another way, a smarter way to do it? Or will the pharmacist or the healthcare, the health store that you go to be able to give me the necessary information? And if I say to them, this is my problem, they then give me a tip product. For how long do I need to be on that product? In this instance, we're talking about the liver. And then I've also raised another issue with you, and that is people who complain continuously about sleeplessness and restless night and not being able to sleep. So they're grumpy the next morning and really, really exhausted.
So yeah, when customers or listeners go into the pharmacy, they can either do one of two things. They can reach for the product off the shelves themselves. There's no issue there as long as they know or they have enough information about it. I mean, we live in the information age, right? So everybody will go and do their research before they even go into the stores. So if that's what they want, they can go and grab it off the shelf, no issues. But my role at Tibb is to as a corporate trainer. So it's my role or my job or my duty to go into pharmacies and pass on the relevant knowledge to the front shop assistants and the pharmacy staff so that they're able to give you the best information and deal with your issues as best as possible.
And in terms of how long does one need to stay on those specific supplements to get optimal results? And once you've reached your peak where you're now quite happy that I'm okay now, I think my liver is fine, or I think I'm sleeping better. I'm sleeping 5 days out of 7, 5 or 6 hours uninterrupted sleep. Do I continue with those supplements um, or do I stop it? How does it work? Because maybe if I stop it, I'll go back to, the problem will probably resurface. So those are, the type of dilemma I battle with regarding supplements are concerned. I'm sure other people have the same issues.
Yeah, just to liken it to something that a little bit more common for the listeners is something like vitamin C. We know vitamin C is normally used as an immune booster and everything, but how often do we take vitamin C on an ongoing basis versus just when we're sick? So in terms of the Livotib and all the products from Tibb, you can use them throughout the time that you are afflicted with whatever condition, and then once your condition improves, the decision literally is up to you whether you want to continue it or not. Now, in the case of the liver and your diet and nutrition and all of that, unless you start looking after your liver and it's accompanied with lifestyle changes, like cutting out all the bad foods and eating more healthily and exercising, all of that, generally you're going to find that the issue is going to come back at a later point, right? So you're not getting rid of it completely. And so the damage that you've just now reversed with the Livotib will probably happen again should you stop it. And the thing is that, like I said, the liver is so important in all our functions that it would be wise to maybe continue it, even if you just do it once a quarter or every alternate month after you've reached your peak state, like you mentioned. Every alternate month or at least once a quarter, because what you're doing is just giving your liver a chance to boost itself again, to help your liver get back to its optimal function. And then hopefully that will help to reduce any lingering or any other issues that's caused by lifestyle, diet, stress, all of that.
I understand that you want to make a disclaimer, but before I allow you to make that disclaimer, let me also just say we're using the liver as an example. We could be talking about the heart, the brain, the kidney, any other organ in the body. I think I've pretty covered all of the organs. But really, we're using the liver as an example, but it does obviously cover all of the organs. That being said, what about people who are on chronic meds? And we also need to know, what do you do? How do you address the issue around people with sleep problems? But if you are on chronic medication, heart medication, or you're a diabetic and you're taking insulin, all of those issues, how do you then factor your Tibb supplements into the equation without it having adverse effects on your health?
So Tibb has been around for a long time. We're over 25 years in the business, and in that time, we haven't had any reports of any drug interactions between your chronic medication for diabetics, for hypertensives, for hyperlipidemics, all of those patients. Those are your most common chronic issues. It's the same with your arthritic medication. We haven't had any reports. So far, what we can infer from that is that it is safe. And from a naturopathy and homeopathy and our philosophy of medicine, which is Unani Tibb, the formulations that we have are safe for everybody to use. However, when you now delve into the region of chronic medication, this is now obviously where a patient has gone now to seek medical advice from a doctor, and he's now put them on this medication. As a company, as a pharmacy, we cannot change what the doctor has said. If the doctor has said you need to be on diabetic medication, then we will assist you in stuff that you can supplement with that. But at no point will we ever say, you know what, stop the doctor's medication and take our stuff. That is not ethical, and that is not something we would ever do. Having said that, a lot of the range from Tibb can actually supplement or be used as an adjuvant in conjunction with your chronic medication to actually improve the result of your medication that you're currently taking.
Okay, so I'm so happy that we are going to be talking next week as well, because then we can pick up from where we've left off, because we're almost coming to the end of the interview. But another very important question is the issue around sleep. And then I also want to ask you about people have been throwing around a supplement called ashwagandha. I think that's what it's called. Tell us
Yeah.
if that will address the sleep issues. And what about if you say yes to that question? What about we have very naughty patients, don't we? They will take a allopathic sleeping tablet, and they'll probably even take the ashwagandha. I think. What are the risks of some form of overdosing?
Okay. So, in terms of sleep, yes, ashwagandha can help. Ashwagandha is known as a whole body adaptogen. So what it does is it reduces your one of your main stress hormones in the body, which is cortisol. Wherever cortisol is present, or when cortisol is present in the body, ashwagandha's job is to reduce that. Obviously, how this translates to helping you sleep better is if you're stressed, sleep isn't going to come easily. So by ashwagandha helping to reduce your stress hormones, generally sleep will come through. Ashwagandha, normally people are taking ashwagandha for sleep and for anxiety and all of that. But what people don't know is ashwagandha works across your entire body. It's also been shown to help improve blood sugar levels, energy levels, sexual health. All of those issues ashwagandha can help. But obviously there's a dosage for everything. So you're looking to, it's different conditions that you're looking at working with, and obviously there's a dosage for everything. In terms of sleep itself, when you say people are tossing and turning all the time, I think what people don't want to do is they don't want to address the elephant in the room, which is generally sleep hygiene. You find people eating big meals before they go to bed, drinking large quantities of liquids, be it coffee, water, cool drinks, whatever it is. And then obviously the major one that people tend to struggle with these days is the cell phone. So everybody goes to bed with the cell phone in hand, and having been on the cell phone for the last hour, then they decide, okay, I can't sleep. So they go scrolling a little bit more. Then eventually they pass out. But obviously their mind hasn't actually come to a nice relaxed point where they can enjoy a restful sleep. And so when they wake, they tend to have a lot more, or they feel a lot more unrested than what they should.
Okay, we're going to wrap up now and come back to my black seed question. It's also been posed by Shahida Ismail. She says, and this is on Facebook, love the Tibb stress away for better sleep. Let's see, love the Tibb stress away for better sleep. Black seed for immune booster. Okay, you got that. You do understand what she's saying.
Yes, 100%. So if you're looking for a product from Tibb to help improve your sleep, it would be Stress Away, because Stress Away works very nicely to
Okay.
help.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Right.
it would
Right.
be
Carry on.
that's your go-to. That is your go-to. It helps with stress. It helps with anxiety. It helps to improve healthy sleeping patterns, or enhance healthy sleeping patterns. People that generally feel uneasy, anxious all the time, Stress Away is the one for them. So ideally, you take it about an hour or two before you want to sleep, and what it does is it helps you to actually slow down your mind and come to a nice relaxed state before actually falling asleep. So I would liken it to when you driving your car and obviously pressing on the brakes slowly till you come to a nice relaxed stop, as opposed to stopping your car with the wall.
Okay. I do look forward to chatting with you again next week and pose all of those very important questions. When is the right time to take certain vitamins, minerals, supplements, etc.? What time of day, and a whole lot more. I see Shahida has also said that black seed is for overall immune boosting. Would you agree with that?
100%, yes. So, I mean, like your advert played earlier, it's
Yeah.
for everything. And the way it works it has such a strong antioxidant property that it helps to reduce all or get rid of all the stuff causing trouble within the body and thereby helping to improve your immunity. There's so much that we can speak about on black seed. I think maybe we should start with that next week, so we get the
Inshallah.
most out of it.
Inshallah. And that's where I'll leave you. Thank you indeed. I look forward to the chat next week at the same time. Go well. Assalamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam. Shukran.
That was Riyaaz Khan. He is the corporate trainer at Tibb, Unani Tibb. And of course, we were talking about in the month of Ramadan, incorporating supplements just so that we can enjoy a stress-free Ramadan. But we will pick up on this conversation next week at the same time. Standing by to talk with us now is Hakeem Anderson Lesolang. We're going to talk still on the area and the issue of health, but this time around more the mental health issues. We're going to be looking at toxic positivity and healing. So please do stay with us.